Hello One Piece fans all over the world, I'm Simone Cards, and it's been a while since I made a video. I thought I'd make a return during this crazy market, give my thoughts and opinions, and at the end I'll mention, it's been like about 4 months since I've made a video. If you don't know me, the first time on your channel, I'm known for opening Japanese booster box cases, so every video I'll open up 12 booster boxes, and I haven't done that in like 4 months. It was the last time I made a One Piece video, but I thought it was a good time to return, and I'll tell you at the end why I semi-retired, but I want to give my thoughts and opinions on the current state of the One Piece TCG market and my predictions for the future and just the current climate on things. Most of you guys know, in case you don't, the One Piece TCG market has been popping off. Things within a week, 2 weeks time have doubled or even tripled in value, and it's been completely nuts, and it's been brought by the movement of the Pokemon TCG market and sports card market over to the One Piece cards. So apparently what has happened with the vendors is their margins have started to lower. Like, they weren't making as much money off the Pokemon TCG because everything was so expensive already and they weren't making as much sales. The hype was dying down a little bit, just slightly with Pokemon. So they took a glance over the white picket fence and saw One Piece cards and like, oh, there's a lot of money to be made. They picked up on what we already knew of the rarity and the popularity of One Piece. Now the cat's out of the bag. They know about what we've known for years, and they're taking advantage, buying up all the cards, all the boxes, new highs for pretty much everything. I was in here for about 2.5 weeks, and I stopped following the One Piece TCG for a few months. So when I got back from Europe, I came back to the explosion in the market. I didn't know what was going on or why. So I started looking on YouTube and Instagram, and man, first of all, let me tell you, the popularity of One Piece. I get back from Europe and I go to YouTube, and over the course of a few months, there's been so many new One Piece channels, a lot of great channels, which have been very beneficial to me. So shout out to, I've been commenting on your guys' channels and subscribing. So shout out to all the new One Piece channels that have been kind of keeping me and updated and telling me what's been going down with the market. So I've been learning from you guys, and then coming up with my own opinions, and but I'm on Instagram a lot, so throughout this video I'll be showing you guys his photos and screenshots that I've taken, and even videos of stuff to kind of narrate and visually show you the things I'm talking about. But let's start with this, with the whole vendor situation. You can check out this video right here.
A lot of Pokemon vendors are moving to or incorporating One Piece.
I am in the Pokemon hobby, and I'm a Pokemon vendor because I genuinely love the hobby. A lot of the vendors who are just in it for the money are getting out because the market's crashing. I don't care if the Pokemon market is it's crashing. Bro, I have always loved One Piece. I've been a fan since I was a kid.
How much money have you made off Pokemon in the past year?
Honestly, brother, I made more money off of One Piece than I did Pokemon.
My name is Will, and I'll be trading away my 6-figure Pokemon collection for One Piece cards.
Get out of the sports called One Piece. Luffy, man. Luffy is more popular than Michael Jordan.
So that's a little snippet of what's been going down, just to narrate what the vendors coming over to One Piece and buying out everything. Now, not all the guys I'm showing you, not all of them are evil. Like one of the guys is Hip Hop One Piece. So here, let me tell you this, anyone watching, if you're coming over to One Piece, if you want to pass, like some of it's negative, like oh man, these people are just scalping and flipping. But if you want to pass, all you have to do is watch the show. I feel like all can be forgiven if you just watch the show and act like you care a little bit, and realize what the fans feel about these characters and Oda and his writing. If you can check this out, some of you guys have, you have Coop's Collection, or Collectibles, who has 1 million subs on YouTube, has 700,000 followers on Instagram, I believe. He just started watching the show, so you get a pass. Hip Hop One Piece, he just started the show, and he loves Luffy and what Luffy's about. And then some other guy who does sports breaks, he just started the show.
All in on One Piece. That's right, all in. I just started watching this. I am full-blown into it now. Not only am I full-blown into it, Luffy is just like me. Everything about him is just like me. Get ready. I am building a massive One Piece collection.
And they're realizing, I follow their stories, they realize the power of One Piece. Now, this is not the first time we've seen a market manipulation, an explosion in prices. We saw that with Marvel cards. We've seen it with MetaZoo. We've seen it with sports cards. Definitely with Pokemon, among other things. And now it's come to One Piece. But I gotta say, I've really only seen this work long term with Pokemon because the Pokemon fan base started back in the 90s with the video games, the cartoon, the anime, all the merchandise, the music, the Poke Rap, the movies, the cards. Like Pokemon had so much going for it and started that fan base back in the 90s, and now those people are in their 30s, 40s with money to keep the market going, even with the high prices of Pokemon, even though Pokemon is taking a slight dip, not a crash, a slight dip. So things are still crazy expensive. New all-time highs are still being made with the vintage Pokemon cards. The first edition Charizard just sold for $500,000. So that's an all-time high in 2025 going into 2026. So it's not like the market's crashing in the slightest. So why I bring this up, some people think, or a lot of people think in the One Piece market that prices are going to continue to rise. By this time next year, things are going to be even crazier with the One Piece market. And I just want to pump the brakes. I'm not so sure about that. Again, this worked for Pokemon because of the fan base that was made in the 90s. But with the Marvel cards, it came and went. Sports cards, it came and went. Again, there's certain cards that still go for tons of money. But I mean, as a whole, these things tend to dip down and crash for many years. Not crash, but maybe go back to normal for many years. Like MetaZoo came and went. We've seen it with Yu-Gi-Oh cards. But now the Pokebro effect is hitting One Piece. And I know One Piece is the biggest manga anime right now. It's ever growing, getting bigger by the year with the Netflix show season 2 coming out. They're already working on season 3, and the remake of the whole anime coming out on Netflix. They're reanimating the whole anime and condensing it. That's going to be a big hit. And all the collabs they've been doing with all the different major sports teams around the world. I know One Piece is one of the biggest IPs and second to Pokemon right now. It's surpassed Yu-Gi-Oh! It's surpassed Dragon Ball, surpassed Magic, all these different things. It's now in the number 2 spot behind Pokemon. I just don't think, and I could be wrong, I don't think the market manipulation is going to last. The Pokebro effect is going to last. I think these vendors might be in for a rude awakening. I don't know if they're going to find the fan base that has the money to pay for the prices they're charging. It worked for Pokemon. I don't think they have the same amount of numbers of adults in the 30s and 40s who have the money to pay for the booster boxes and the cards. Yes, there's a few out there that can pay $5,000 for a manga, $10,000, $100,000 for a championship card. You got the select few, but is that enough to carry for years the manipulation going on right now? That worked for Pokemon. I don't think this is gonna work for One Piece. Maybe for a few months here we have a couple months of it and prices are gonna continue to rise, but I think things are gonna come back to normal, meaning not that prices are gonna go back to what it was a month ago, the lows that we knew a month ago. I think the lows are gonna be at all-time new highs. So the current market right now, I think, is pretty much here to stay. If not, maybe things take a little dip, but this is the new norm. All the highs you're seeing on the mangas, the treasure rares, the SPs, the booster boxes, I think this is going to be pretty much the new norm. Maybe a little bit of a dip, but this is going to be the new norm. What I'm saying is I don't think things are going to continue to double or triple. I don't think the fan base, that One Piece has a fan base for that as a whole. Maybe there's a select few individuals who are doing really well for themselves, but this isn't Pokemon. I don't think there's the same number of people who have great careers, who are bankers and lawyers who like One Piece like that. I think the fan base is a little younger, and maybe in 10 years we'll be there, like we are there right now with Pokemon. But I think One Piece still has time and a little bit more room to grow to get to that Pokemon point, if that makes sense, if I'm making sense here. Now again, I could be completely wrong. Here on Instagram, I commented on someone's post saying this is getting out of hand. Like I saw the things that doubled in a week. It blew my mind. And graded investors replied to me, brother, it's barely starting. By this summer, you're gonna wonder why you didn't buy now. That's the thing. People are falling for the FOMO. Let me tell you, I am not buying a single One Piece product if it's not for MSRP. If I can't get a booster box for $120, $130, if not $100, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying any cards at double the value. I'm not doing it. I missed the boat. A lot of us have regrets. We knew how rare those treasure rares were, how hard it was to pull. We knew how hard it was to pull the mangas. We knew how hard it was to pull the SPs, the one per case. We knew, and we did nothing about it. Certainly I didn't. Do I have regrets, man? I wish I would have bought all the anniversary cards. I wish I would have bought all the serialized cards, the mangas, all the treasure rares. I wish I would have bought all of them 2 months ago, but I didn't because I guess I thought I had more time. I thought I had more time. I wasn't expecting this, but that's collectibles. It happens, and you missed the boat. I missed the boat. I'm not buying a single One Piece product. What I am doing is why people are zigging. You want to zag, so I'm looking back to Pokemon, my first love. I was in Pokemon heavy, then I went to One Piece because I got sick of Pokemon. It kept hurting my feelings with the pull rate. So I went to One Piece. Now with the market manipulation is going on, I'm looking back at Pokemon to take advantage of the little dip. I wish there was a Pokemon crash because there's hundreds of awesome vintage and modern cards I would love to buy. But I'm starting to look and do research and take my time. I'm not just I'm not jumping the gun just yet. I think things are going to start dipping a little bit more, like the Bubble Muse taking a little dip, the Sumbreon's taking a little dip, cards like that, like the big hits, Sleeping Tyranitar, I believe. So I'm waiting in the grass, like a snake in the grass, waiting to pounce. But that's what I'm doing. I'm looking at the Pokemon market now. But again, we knew how rare the One Piece cards was. Like, look at this. So the Moonbreon, which is the biggest modern card in Pokemon right now, total population report between PSA, BGS, and CGC, 34,181. The Luffy Gear 5 manga from OPO5, total population report between the same 3 grading companies, 776. So 776 versus 34,000. So we knew how rare these mangas were, and I missed the boat. What can you do? Now, to get back to the comment, brother, it's barely starting. By this summer, you're going to wonder why you didn't buy now. And if that's not what you're saying, no worries. But this whole thing is going to send June and July. So he can be completely right, and things are going to go nuts. This can just be the very beginning, and we're in for quite the run, which it is what it is. I was lucky enough to get stuff at the time. So I'm sitting on some sealed product and some cool cards right now. And I'm just kind of just like watching it go up in value. Some One Piece cards I am selling. I'm going to post a short. If you're watching this video, go check out the short of some stuff I just sold on eBay. I'm keeping some of my heavy hitters. Like I have a PSA 10 manga chopper and some promo One Piece cards. I'm keeping some things for myself, but lower end stuff, I'm taking advantage of the market right now. Now, I saw a comment on YouTube from Daily Dose of TCG. Check him out, subscribe to him. Great YouTube One Piece channel. This guy, Sean Ryan, 8341. I don't even know if he knows who I am, but I saw his comment. Unpopular opinion, but I think a lot of cards are still undervalued. If you don't buy what you want, you also run the risk of cards staying flat for a bit, then slowly working their way higher. And then you never get that big drop you think is coming. So that's what I think is coming. Not a big drop, but like I said, I think this is the new norm right now where prices are. This is the norm. So, but some people think there's going to be a big drop. He says that's not going to happen. Some mangas are still super cheap relative to the booster box prices, like the Sabo manga, Silver Rayleigh manga. I'm sure he's talking about. And you have treasure rares for like $50. Yeah, there's some bad treasure rares like unpopular characters. If you're buying those treasure rares, that means like I think really which is nothing wrong, but you are looking to capitalize on selling these cards. So buying a treasure rare of an unpopular character that no one cares about, you're going to buy that card because you think the Pokebro effect is going to keep increasing those prices, which is probably a good strategy if you think the treasure rares are going to keep going up like this guy thinks. The amount of demand compared to supply is insane. That's true. That's true. And it's going to get way worse in a couple months when we get close to the Netflix season 2. You know, there are tons of people that think that the live action Netflix show is going to really pump up the cards. And I'm not so sure. Yes, it's bringing new fans to the One Piece anime. No question about that. I've seen that in my comment section. That is completely true. But I've given cards out like at work, like the anime cards, the One Piece TCG cards to people that have seen the live action, and they don't even recognize the characters because they're just so bit different from the live action show, and they're just not into cards, you know. So it's like give or take. I think there's going to be some spillover from the live action show to the TCG, but I don't think not as much as people think really. It's like I can kind of compare it to like say you're on Instagram or TikTok and you're trying to get people to cross-platform to YouTube. Like, hey, you're on TikTok. Hey, go over to my YouTube and subscribe. People don't really make that jump. It's just like too much of an effort to get off TikTok, go onto YouTube, find the guy, subscribe. Like I don't want to use the word lazy because I'm describing myself. I don't even like to do that, but you know, it's too much effort. But yeah, anyways, I'm not falling for the FOMO. Maybe prices still go up, but it is what it is. I missed the boat, and that's okay. There's going to be more opportunity in the future. I'm definitely. So the thing that stinks is even before the Poke Bros came over, it was pretty impossible to find English booster boxes or booster packs for retail, anyways, for MSRP. Right off the rip, you couldn't find it. It's always sold out. Not at Target, not at Walmart. Your local card shop is overcharging for it. And it's always been hard or impossible to find English TCG. Anyways, imagine how hard it's going to be now. That's the part that sucks. The part that is good is if we do have the One Piece collectibles, like a lot of us do have, it's raising the value of our sealed product and cards. So that's the good thing about the Poke Bro effect. It's raising the value and awareness. It is bringing collectors over too. People are going to start playing the game more. Oh yeah, so the One Piece, or the Pokemon, why prices, people were able to charge so much for Pokemon cards is because the people that actually play the game, I would say is like 5% compared to like 95% who are actual collectors, lovers of the show, or flippers, vendors, whatever. But that's like 95% people that just like the art, like the cards, or they try to make money off of it. And then you have like 5% actual like player pool. With One Piece, it's more like, I would say like maybe 40% players, which is a lot, to 60% vendors, collectors, lovers of the art, which it's getting smaller now that we have more people buying. Maybe it's more like 30-70 now, I don't know, something like that. But it's a lot of players, and I've talked to players, and they're like taking advantage of the people coming over because they're like, oh, Pokemon fans, they don't know One Piece, so the players are selling cards and just taking advantage of the hyped prices because they're like, these cards shouldn't be worth this much, but people are gonna buy it. Sure, I'll sell them right now. You could be selling too early. Prices might be going up and you could have waited maybe another month and made even more money, or you can be selling at the right time because cards are going to dip back down. No one knows. I don't know. No one knows. All we can do is just share our opinion and thoughts, and that's what I'm doing in this video. But I do want to again make it clear, I do think One Piece is hot. It's the next big thing. Anything positive or nice you're gonna say about One Piece, it's all true. It's on the up and up. It's the biggest manga. It's the biggest anime. The cards are taking off. But your parents, my parents, most parents know who Pikachu is. A lot of people still don't know who Luffy is. So that's the gap. That's the gap we're trying to close. But check this video out that I put together. I do believe One Piece in the next few years, it's already taken off, but it's closing the gap between Pokemon. The gap is getting smaller and smaller.
All of a sudden, One Piece is popping off, guys. I ran a Black Friday sale on my Shopify, my eBay, my whatnot, and everything bought out. Literally every single item in all 3 of my storefronts bought out, sold over the course of 24 hours.
I'm starting to think One Piece might be a bigger thing than I think for the future. It's getting to the point, because of what I'm seeing in the market, in chatter, in stores, and people, I'm really thinking this One Piece situation could be a lot bigger than I've realized all along. And One Piece might become a really, really, really big Goliath.
The One Piece trading card game is exploding fast, becoming the biggest new force in the trading card game world.
Brought some gifts for you.
You got some gifts?
Yeah.
I like gifts.
Okay.
And people actually walk around and wear these?
Yeah, there it is.
I feel like a sumo wrestler.
I truly believe and understand that Luffy is way more popular than Michael Jordan. Luffy's story is going to change the world. The way Luffy inspires people is going to change the world.
So yeah, One Piece is obviously here to stay. I've been opening One Piece cards on this YouTube channel for 2 years now, and I have plenty of One Piece product, and Sanji is my favorite character. My second favorite character is actually Rosanati, Law's like stepdad. So I love One Piece. It's taken over. I just don't know if prices are going to continue to rise like people think. I'm not going to buy into the FOMO. I'm not buying any more One Piece cards at these current all-time highs. Could I regret it? Yes. Maybe the prices now are the cheap prices compared to what it's going to be next year. Very possible. But I'm gonna look more towards Pokemon and buy the dip in Pokemon. Hopefully Pokemon keeps dipping. I would love if it can crash. That would be great. That's the best case scenario for me. But here's the warning with the Poke Bros coming to One Piece. We have all the fights that have been breaking out in the Pokemon world at Costco's and Sam's Club and everywhere and GameStop. It's like really embarrassing and ridiculous. That's why I'm really glad this year, at the start of 2025, I got into investing in stocks and ETFs, and man, am I happy about that, because I was the guy who would stand in line a couple times during like the COVID era when Hidden Fates, the reprint of Hidden Fates. I wanted to get that, so I would be at Target waiting in line at like 4 a.m. waiting, and it worked. I got some product, but man, waiting in line at GameStop on release day, stopping by every Walmart in town, going to the CVS or Dollar General or all the Targets. It sucks, bro. It takes a lot of time and effort, and you're not even promised anything, because when you get stuff, you don't really know the margins you're gonna make. You don't know if the product's actually gonna be at the store, so it's a big waste of time. That's why I'm glad I got into stocks, so I can like sit on my butt and make money. And it's just way easier, and the margin's better if you're buying the right stocks. Of course, that can go haywire too and lose your money in stocks. Of course, it's all gambling. But there's some blue chip companies like Amazon, Nvidia. I've been buying a lot of Palantir. Whatever, that's not what this video is about. But I'm just saying, I'm glad I got into stocks. It's so much easier than the hustle and stress of trying to find product in the wild. Like, Jesus Christ. Not that you can find it anyways. Even with the Pokemon Center, when there's like a release of the new Pokemon Center ETB, all the bots buy it before you can even get into the queue to buy something. It's ridiculous. So that's what sucks. You couldn't, even with One Piece, you couldn't get English products anyways, barely. Unless you're a whatnot seller. I don't know how these whatnot sellers, endless products, more product than the billion-dollar retail stores. These whatnot sellers get all the cases, all the boxes. I don't know how they do it, but non-stop. They have everything. They can charge whatever they want for it. They have the English product. Don't know how they do it. They have it. People like you and me, unless you know someone, you can't get it. It sucks, and it's going to get even worse now. I mean, look at this picture from Blue Sea TCG on Instagram. This is what Pokemon would do. This is what Pokemon people would hide the packs under shelves. Why? I guess to buy it at a later point in time. I don't really know why they're hiding it. I don't know. But this is what's going to happen with One Piece, possibly. What is going to stop this from happening is Bandai does not print enough. You're not even you can't. This can't happen because there's not enough being printed. Pretty much, like the Costco fights that happen with Pokemon. Bandai doesn't print that much product, so there's not going to be any fights because you can't get it. So yeah. What really sucks in all this are the kids. When I was a kid with Pokemon or Dragon Ball or Yu-Gi-Oh, I can go to the store at any time and get packs. It was no problem. They were never out of packs. And kids can't experience that now. And I have friends who reach out to me because they know I'm a TCG guy. He's like, hey, do you know where I can get English packs from? And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I can't get them either. Like, they're not at stores, and then if they are at a card shop, they're charging way too much. So kids can't even have fun opening packs. And that's where your fan base is coming from. That's why Pokemon's able to make so much money now, because of the kids that opened it when they were in the 90s, early 2000s, or 2010s. They're older now and can buy the stuff, but One Piece doesn't have that. They can't find the product. The kids cannot open the product. That's really going to hurt the future of the One Piece TCG. I don't think the market manipulation is going to last, not long term at least. Maybe for the next few months, maybe another year of this, but. Like I said, it happened with Marvel, Lorcana, the Disney TCG, MetaZoo, so on and so forth, sports cards. Yes, it can be manipulated for a bit, but eventually it is gonna die out when, who knows. This isn't Pokemon. It worked with Pokemon. I think it can only work with Pokemon because, what Pokemon had going for it, besides all the other TCGs, what it had over all these other TCGs and IPs is the cuteness factor. The Pokemon are cute, so kids, adults, girls, boys, women, men, they can, and they're like they're pets. They're cute pets or cool looking pets, tough looking pets like a Charizard or a Tyranitar or Gyarados. There's like cool ones, cute ones, fluffy ones. It had that going for it. You can train them. The video games. There's no One Piece handheld video games. There's no, like, the One Piece, the Pokemon show growing up, it was on basic cable. You can watch it at pretty much any point, and it was on every day. You need streaming platforms to watch One Piece, so it's not as readily available. So yeah, Pokemon is a different breed. That's why I'm just thinking this manipulation with One Piece is not going to last. Yes, One Piece is huge. It's the biggest thing ever right now, but it's just different than Pokemon. Also, what's contributing to the manipulation of One Piece cards is the One Piece people. This is my first video I'm making about it, but every day I go on my YouTube and just my algorithm is a new video about the rising price of One Piece and how great One Piece is, and us talking about the vendors and Poke Bros coming over and the sports bros coming over to One Piece. So we're like fuel to the fire with this. We're kind of like, it's like an echo chamber, like we're increasing the manipulation ourselves too, because we're hyping it up ourselves. But it's not a completely bad thing to bring awareness to something you love. It's great. We're getting new collectibles, new players, new collectors, new fans. It's good for us who already have the product. It's not good for people that want to keep buying it. Of course, I want to keep buying it, but like I said, I'm not going to pay these prices that they're at right now. Forget about it. Not doing it. Not buying into the FOMO. I'm 34. I've been in the collectible market too long, and I FOMO'd into stuff before, and most of the time it's not worth it. I can be wrong. But I'm willing to take the gamble because I got other things going on. It's fine. It's fine. I don't need to hit 100, bat 100 every time. You know, you're gonna have wins, you're gonna have losses. That's the stock market. That's collectibles. There'll be more opportunity. And briefly, I just want to touch it on the Japanese market. People have been. I mostly opened up Japanese, and believe me, I know I pulled the SPs and I pulled the manga, and man, I can't make money off of those. Compared to the English, like it's not even close. Apparently people don't really want Japanese. If you want the cards, if you just like the art, buy Japanese, but it's a little tougher to invest into the Japanese One Piece cards if you're investing to make money off of it maybe in the future, maybe after 5-10 years, a couple years, 5-10, I don't know the length, I don't know. But maybe we'll say maybe in 5 years time, the Japanese mangas might be worth something. I don't know, but no one really touches those. I don't really know why. But even now, I just sold, I'm trying to take advantage of the hype, right? The One Piece hype. So I just sold a PSA 10 Japanese Sabo card. I'm like, all right, it usually goes for 500, 550. So now, man, it's gonna go 600, 650, 700, new all-time high I'm gonna make. Let's go, I'm about to make a record, and it goes for like around 400 bucks. So it actually sold less for what it normally goes. So that's Japanese for you. That's my luck. I'm trying to take advantage of the One Piece market right now, and no, I can't. I suck, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, I think I said all I wanted to say on the current state of the One Piece market and what I think about the future of it. So for the subscribers and followers that have hit me up during my semi-retirement saying, hey, I miss you, when's the next video? Thank you guys so much, you're amazing. Thank you for anyone watching right now. Why I stopped making videos is, honestly, I got burnt out. It's a lot of work editing and filming and setting up the lights and cleaning up the area and doing all my research and whatever. And it's expensive too. I was opening up Japanese cases and I wasn't getting out of it that I wanted to. If I was pulling mangas all the time and getting millions of views, that'd be a different story. That was not my story. I wasn't pulling good stuff, and my channel was growing in a healthy manner, but nothing crazy. But again, I was talking about stock. I got into stocks, so I'm like, why am I spending so much money on cases where I'm literally like burning money? Like here's thousands of dollars and just lighting a flame to it and setting it on fire. That's what it is. Opening TCG product. That's what it is. Maybe some of you get lucky. You open one pack in your life and you get a God pack. I get comments like that, and people message me that barely ever open, and they boom, manga, no problem. That's not my luck. Thousands of dollars in Pokemon and One Piece and get little to nothing. Maybe once every few years I'll hit something big. But yeah, I started buying stocks. I'm like, wow, this is a better use of my money. Yeah, I don't have to drive around all these different store locations and wasting time. And yeah, I love opening, but making the videos, I just got burnt out and it wasn't that rewarding anymore. So that's why I stopped making videos. Now, if I was able to get English booster boxes for retail all the time, there's a lot of YouTubers that open up English products all the time. I don't know how they get MSRP. I know one guy. So if you look back there, there's some big English product back there. I knew one guy that I met on TikTok a couple years ago who sold product. He's where I get a lot of these products from, and he would sell it to me to MSRP. Before you ask, no, he doesn't have a lot of product. He barely gets any, and he has a Discord with like 20 people. As soon as he has product, it's hard to even get one because, of course, it immediately gets bought up. If it was just me and him, I'd buy all of his English products, but there's a group of us, and thank God for him, that's how I was able to get what I have gotten, if not from TCG Player. Like when OPO 8 came out, and it was going for under MSRP, so like $100 or $90 is MSRP, I believe, for a One Piece booster box, and it was going for $80, $75 a booster box. I bought a couple cases, guys, because I believed in One Piece, and I thought that was crazy. I don't care how much you hate OP08. It has a Silver Rayleigh manga that's hard to pull. It has possibly the best SP in the whole One Piece game, which was that manga, or not manga, the Ace SP, and then has some other beautiful SPs. I thought it was very underrated. You can hate on it, whatever, but $75 for a booster box, come on. So I bought a couple cases of that, and here we are now. It's gone up in value, of course, during the hype. And that's what you got to take advantage of. If you believe in something and stuff's going down that low, buy it up. Buy it up, guys. But yeah, anyways, I don't know what the future of the channel is, but I just want to thank you guys so much for watching this, if you did watch this to the end. Welcome new One Piece fans to the One Piece hobby. Check out the show. It's a lot of episodes. Read the manga if you don't want to watch all the anime. The manga would probably be faster to read. But yeah, amazing characters. Oda's a genius. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Follow me on Instagram. I'm on Instagram constantly, 24/7. It's a problem. But yeah, see you in the next one possibly. Bye.
Man, I love being a fan of the One Piece TCG. You can find product on shelves, everything's relatively affordable, most of the people in the community are players, and if they're not players, they're genuine fans of the hobby. I mean, what could possibly go wrong? What's up, loser? What's the equivalent to a Moonbryon, a Sunbryon, a Sunzard, and a Bubble Mew in the One Piece TCG? Okay, hello to you too. That's a really weird question. I guess the equivalents would be like the mangas, the treasure rares, the SPs. Why would you even ask that? Oh my god, you're a Pokemon investor. Huh? Oh, you catch on pretty fast. Oh my god, you're gonna kill the hobby. What are you even typing? Yeah, I just told all of my friends in the Pump and Dump Discord and Reddit to buy the mangas, the treasure rares, and the SPs just like you said. You think it's that easy? Those are some of the most expensive cards in the hobby. There's no way that you could possibly, how is that even possible? You've been here for less than 2 months. Yeah, it's kind of crazy what a bunch of losers with money can do, right? Holy hell, you're gonna drive out all the casual collectors and the players. Dude, nobody's gonna want to come into the hobby anymore. Yeah, about that, we do not care. Oh my god, how many of you guys are gonna come in? Oh, basically all the Pokemon scalpers, all the people who are just in it for the money, all the bad Pokemon vendors, basically the worst of the worst. Screw this, I'm going to Riftbound. Wait, that's a great idea, I'm coming too.